Hey guys, hey RosterWatch Nation, Byron here for you at Los Angeles Chargers training camp practice in Costa Mesa, from Jacksonville all the way to Los Angeles in the last 24 hours for you guys. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, but I think I showed up at Chargers camp just right on time as the pads have come on in the last few days, and really want to suss out the running back situation here, and our timing couldn't be better as they really began greasing the skids for the running game today. Got another practice tomorrow and then a scrimmage on Sunday. So I think the next few days we're going to learn a lot about this running back group. Today what I saw was a good group, a good depth chart, but a little bit concerning for Austin Ekeler. I saw a little bit more of a rotation that I would have liked to have seen. Kind of Justin Jackson creeping back in the picture, maybe a little bit more than you'd like to see, but I don't want to make too much of it after my first day of practice here. Nonetheless, I spoke with offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi. They have a really nice group of running backs, young running backs that are pretty versatile here. So that's a big thing to look out for the next few days for sure. I'd say the other things that caught my eyes were, clearly the improvement of the offensive line, which is a big deal for this young team. Significantly better O-line here with the Chargers than we've seen in the past. I mean, that's always been a huge problem for this team, and it looks like Tom Telesco, the GM, has had a really good last few years here, has really reinforced that situation. And then the defense. The defense looks good, especially the secondary looks really, really exciting. Chris Harris, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr., some young, aggressive guys back there. I think they got the personnel to match up with these tight ends in this division. Waller, Kelsey, possibly even Fant. Saw Derwin James today really put it on Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. I mean, I say it all the time. You go to these training camps across the country, and every once in a while there's just one of those players that kind of leaps off the field at you. The Tyrone Smiths, the Julio Jones, the Christian McCaffreys. Well, today it was Derwin James. That's a special player. He looks very, very healthy. And then as far as the offensive side of the ball, I'd say the other two guys that caught my eye are my boy Mike Williams right here. Great practice for him. Great practice. He's winning all his one-on-ones. Looks very slick, very sharp. In a contract year, I think this is a good offense for him. Joe Lombardi's system. I'd say it looks like a pretty significant improvement in the chemistry with him and Herbert. And most importantly, Mike Williams, with the injury history, looks very, very healthy right now. So at his current ADP, I know I've always been a bit of a Mike Williams truther, but I really do think this could be the year for Mike Williams, at least in terms of the value that he's going to provide. Today, you really couldn't tell a big difference between Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and Williams is going, 6 or 7 rounds later in our drafts. Of course, Keenan Allen's still a stud. I'm sure he'll still be a plenty nice pick this year, but I don't know. I think Mike Williams is catching my attention late here, and then same goes for Jared Cook at the tight end position. I mean, like most tight end groups around the league, they're going to have a few guys that are going to play. They've definitely got a couple young guys they like here in McKitty, who we saw at the Senior Bowl. They took him in round 3 out of Georgia. He's a nice young player. And then, of course, Donald Parham, XFL star, also former Senior Bowler out of Stetson. Kind of reared his head last year. So those guys are in the mix, but I think pretty clearly Jared Cook is the guy. He was doing a lot of extra work today. He's the guy that's, I think, going to be involved most on the most important downs, and especially early in the season. So don't think we should forget that even in year 13, Jared Cook still looks basically like Jared Cook, and in a Justin Herbert offense, a Joe Lombardi offense where he has experience with Jared Cook in New Orleans, we should probably start keeping Jared Cook in mind at the very end of our drafts if we get into a bind at the tight end position. Until next time, RosterWatch Nation, you can follow us at rosterwatch.com or on Twitter at RosterWatch for all training camp updates. And then, of course, you need to download the Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet at rosterwatch.com, a single sheet of paper that contains everything we know, including everything I'm learning out here at training camp. It's the only draft tool you'll ever need at rosterwatch.com, the Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet.